everybody. Are you guys awake? Ready? All right. So I get the honor to speak to you guys about developing a recruiting culture. Good topic? Yeah? All right, cool. So this, I would say, is one of the most important things at the specific point you guys are at in your business right now, right? Because we're not just recruiting for a warm body. We're recruiting to succeed, and we are trying to attract the right people into our business. And wouldn't you say that is probably one of the top things that we struggle with, right? Finding working coaches. So today I'm going to dive in and really teach you how I, number one, identify my niche market and how you can do that too, but then how to create a plan for your business. Because I don't know about you, but when I signed up to be a coach, this was fun, this was a hobby, I was helping people to lose weight, I was running challenge groups, but then there became a point in my business where I said, I want more, I want to grow a team. And you just can't do that by you have to create a plan to make it happen. So it's got to be a well thought out. This is a business, and as much as it's fun, every successful business has a well thought out marketing plan, and that's what we're going to do. All right, so let's get started. The first thing is, how do you figure out who your target is? Who's your niche? Who are the people that you want in your business? Now, I know many of you follow other top coaches out there. You follow other people, and you automatically say, I'm not like them. Or I don't know how to attract, people into my business. I don't look like this. I don't act like that. I don't have the same systems that they do. But that's a good thing, because you want to attract people just like you. Not like me, maybe not like Bonnie, maybe not like Michelle, but people like you. So the first question that I've actually done this exercise with my leaders, and the first thing that I say to them is, okay, number one, who is your target audience or customer? So look at yourself, right? Who are you? Are you a mom? Are you a former teacher? Do you work in the healthcare field, right? Do you work part-time? Other things, about you. What are your interests? What do you like to do? Are you a professional napper? That's what I like to call myself. Do you like to shop? Are you a do-it-yourself, like a DIY, like to do home projects? Do you like to decorate? Are you a scrapbooker? Do you volunteer at your church? So sit down and just start making a list of, if I was speaking to my ideal person, who would they be? Who is that target customer? Then, the next thing you want to do is ask yourself, how am I going to be introduced, or how am I going to approach that person? So some of you are very yellow, if you know the color code, right? You want to have fun, you want to be the life of the party, nothing's ever super structured, and if it's not a game or if it's not a fun thing to do, then you're like, I don't really want to be a part of it. But then there are some people that need a step-by-step guide, and those people are like your reds. They're the people that you just tell them to go for it and they can figure it out, right? So where are we going to find these people? Are they going to be at a party? Are they going to be at a neighborhood block party? Are you going to find people that you want in your business at a group fitness class, at church? Or are you maybe like me, where I'm a behind-the-scenes person? If I'm looking for a solution, I'm going to Google it. I definitely go to Pinterest first. That's one of my favorite places. I search on Facebook for a group or something I'm looking for. I am much more of a behind the scenes. I'm not going to go out and I'm just not a very social. I'd rather kind of do the behind the scenes. So that's really important, because where are you going to find people like you? Where do they spend their time at? The next thing is, what are their biggest burdens and problems they face? So if I sit back and I think to myself, on day one, as a new coach, my biggest burden was my weight. I needed a solution for my fitness because my confidence was lacking, right? I was a mom to an infant and a toddler, and we had no extra income. So I quit my full-time job to be a stay-at-home mom, which meant that there was no fluff in our budget. So that meant we were living paycheck to paycheck. We were living, just not very comfortably. And so I needed a solution for my fitness, but I also could use some extra income. So our biggest burden was my financial and then my personal confidence. What about you guys? The people that you're speaking to, what are their biggest burdens? Is it that they don't want to be told that they have to come to work at a specific time? Or they don't want to be, have a boss that tells them when they can take off work? Maybe they want to be home with their kids or be able to go to school functions, but they can't. So there are so many things that you're thinking. There's other people out there too that they want to travel and they want to be free and they want to have that fun. So, you really have to think about, what does your audience need to hear? What are their biggest problems they have? And then the next thing is, how are we going to solve them? How are we going to affect these people and how are we going to solve their problems? So what's the solution? My coach offered me a solution. It was a challenge group. And then once she saw that I had that spark to be a really good coach, she realized I needed to make a little extra income, that I could be really good at this business. And so she offered me the coaching opportunity as a solution to our struggling budget. Same thing for you guys. Are the people you're attracting looking for something? Maybe they on the outside look well put together, like they have a professional job, they have a great family, but maybe inside they really don't like their job. And you look like you're having so much fun. And that's maybe their solution, is a different career that allows them to have fun but earn an income to support their family. So think about what type of solution you have to offer to people. And then this is a really important one, number 5. What makes your offer better than your competitors? So this is where coaches get inside of our own heads, right? Because we're like, well, I'm not an elite or a top coach or a top 10, so I don't know what I have to offer, right? I don't have all those top coach systems, but you do. You do. You have access to the Coach Online Office. You have Coach Basics. You have all these great YouTube trainings, right? And what you have is your solution. It may be just that you are a professional fun haver and that everything's going to be a good time and it's going to be the life of the party if they join your team. Now, I may not be attracted to that. What I would be attracted to is that person that said, I have a step-by-step system for you to plug into. You will not have to reinvent the wheel. I will mentor and guide you every step of the way. I'd be attracted to that. You may have somebody else that's a very red personality and says, I'm going to give you the tools, I'm going to tell you where to find it, but you have to figure it out. And that might not be you either. You might be somebody that needs somebody that's close relationships, a small class size, right? I'm only going to accept 5 people into my team because I want to have a personal relationship with every person that joins my team. And that's how we're all different in this business. And now you can sort of start to create, okay, these are the people I want on my team, and here is what I have to offer them that is unique and different to somebody else in this organization. And this is why you should join my team. So now once you've got this figured out, now we want to begin to attract those people. So what I tell my coaches to do, I'm like, even print out those questions about your niche, keep them next to your desk, and then you can even go as far. You guys heard of creating an avatar, your ideal avatar for your business? So even sitting down and writing out the people you want in your business. Where do they spend their time? What are their interests? Who are the people they want to be around? What do they like to do in their free time? What are they looking for? What is their solution? So that every time you make a post, whether it's just a generalized Facebook post, a sweaty selfie, or something looking for a challenger or people to join your team, you want to stay inside of this box. The only people you're speaking to is that person. At the beginning, don't you feel like somebody had blindfolded you, put a dartboard in front of you and gave you some darts, and you were just hoping that one of those darts would hit that dartboard, and that was your ideal coach, right? We're not doing that anymore. We're bringing that in, and we're only speaking to this person. And don't say to yourself, but I'm afraid I'll miss somebody. You're not. If you're missing somebody, they aren't meant to be in your business. You want to attract the people that you feel on fire and alive to work with every single day. And you do that by speaking directly to your niche. All right, so the next step in the process is, once we have identified who that is, now make sure you do that step first. But so the next step is we've got to create a monthly marketing plan. And so I gave you a screenshot of what I do every single month with my own business, and then I share this with my team too. So I sit down with my Google Calendar, and I start to think about what is next month gonna look like. So we know right now we have Team Cup next month, right? We know right now we need to set a start date for our challenge group. And because it's a cup month, we may even run multiple challenge groups. So I start to kind of go through in my mind what next month is gonna look like. And I do it about the 3rd and the 4th week of the month so that I then have time to share with my team so they can duplicate this process so that everybody in the organization is doing the same thing. So the way I run my month is I always start a challenge group the 3rd Monday of every month. And I do that because I always run my new coach basics the 1st Monday of every month. And I want to give my new coaches that are signed up in my organization a place to invite to. Because most new coaches are fearful of running their first challenge group. But if you give them the start date and you tell them what the theme is and you tell them what they're invited to and you can spoon feed it to them, they're much more likely to succeed. So that's kind of why I do that. And then there are months where I will run a second group. But for this example here, I've got my new coach basics. The 3rd Monday is my challenge group. And so the 3rd week of the month, I also will do my coach sneak peek, and I will do a business opportunity call. Because my goal is to get coaches so that they can start the following Monday, that 1st Monday of the month, in my next coach basics. Does that make sense so far?
Yeah.
So when I get that all on the calendar, now I can visually see where I need to go next. How do I plan out my month? Because we can't just decide today that I'm going to start a Coach Basics on Monday and think that you're going to get 5 people to join it. It doesn't work that way. This is how the planning comes in. This is how the marketing plan is important. Because you can have an amazing idea, but if you don't execute it with a well thought out plan, it's gonna flop. All right, so once I've got my plan together, then I can lay out my posts, and I can start to say for the first 2 weeks of the month, I'm gonna advertise for my challenge group, and then the last 2 weeks of the month, I'm really gonna talk every single day about the business opportunity. So now I know my schedule, now it's time to get it started. Let's start planning this out. All right, so now this is different for everybody, and I know that not everyone is a blogger, and I really want to preface by saying you don't have to be a blogger to be successful at this business, but this is my process. Please feel free to pick and choose what works best for you and take it back and implement it in your business. So before, and we're going to talk specifically about the second half of the month, and that's the recruiting. So when I'm getting ready to recruit for the month, what I do is I sit down. It's usually about the second week of the month. I start to get my ideas together, and I start to think about a theme. Because I like to have a consistent message when I'm talking to people. So like this month, for example, it's Make Fitness Your Business. I have done Live Your Life Brilliantly, or Live Life by Design, or Busy Moms, Busy Women Build a Business. And then everything is circled around that theme. And so what I do is I sit down and I start to craft the post. And so let's just take Busy Women Build a Business for an example, right? You can do Busy Men Build a Business too. But so when I start to write out my post for this, I start to think about myself. And I start to think about who I'm talking to, who's my audience, what's my solution that I'm offering them. But you can't just make a post saying, join my team, I'm accepting 5 people, fill out my application, coach training starts on Monday. That's not enough. People need to connect with the emotion of who you are. So maybe you sit down and you paint the picture of what a busy woman looks like, right? Working 8 to 5, have 3 kids that are involved in after-school activities. Every night of the week, you're running, and fitness sometimes is the last thing on your mind, but you know that because you make fitness a priority, that it helps you to have the mental energy, the confidence, to get through the rest of the day. Because you feed your body with good nutrition, you feel better, you have the energy to do what you need to do throughout your day, right? And then, now this business. as a busy mom, you can build an amazing Beachbody business in 1 hour a day. I am going to teach you how to create a power hour to-do list. I am going to share with you the top 3 priorities to be successful as a busy mom building a business. I'm going to teach you how to get in shape in 30 minutes a day. So I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about what I do to manage my time, what my priorities are, and then I'm offering them a solution that they can plug into. And so I get this stuff all together. I start to make these ideas. And the next thing that I do is I create a little YouTube video. And none of this has gone live yet. This is all behind the scenes. So, we get so antsy to hurry up and just put the information out there. But I want to encourage you to make sure that you get all your ducks in a row before you go live with it, right? So I create a YouTube video. And in this YouTube video, it's just a really short 2-minute clip. And you can make it on your phone. And it just says who I am, what I'm looking for, inviting people to maybe join my business opportunity call, or join the sneak peek, or join my Coach Basics. And I just make a quick little trailer that I can upload, put on my blog post. I can upload it right to my Facebook page. I can pin it to Pinterest. The next thing I do is I start to create the images that go along with Busy Women Build a Business. So I want to make sure that the image is going to catch people's attention. And if you make it square, then you're saving yourself a lot of time, because it can be Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, blog, all in one, right? So save yourself the time. But make sure your image is clear, it's eye-catching, it depicts what your message is. So if it's Busy Women Build a Business, you're busy. Show something like your kids and you working out, and then a collage, like the next picture is you getting ready to go to work, and you've got your Shakeology, and then the next part might be the invite for them to join your Coach Sneak Peek, and how you're going to teach them how to build a business in 1 hour a day, right? Then, the next thing I do is I set up the business opportunity call, which I know gasp. Most people are like, I can't do my own call, and we're going to get to that. But it's really important that you schedule a business opportunity call every single month. So I set that up, I put that in part of my blog post, I create the YouTube link or the Zoom link, so that's embedded in there too, and then I set the date for my Coach Sneak Peek, which happens the 3rd week of the month, along with my business opportunity call. So I get all of this stuff together, and I've got all the images created, and this takes me a day to get it all done, right? So I proofread it, make sure it's good. The next thing I do is I go live. I post this at a time of day when people are online. Sunday nights, great time. Those moms, they don't want to go to work on Monday morning. They don't want to leave their babies. Great time to post about it, right? It's Friday afternoon after it's been a long week at work. People don't want to go to their jobs anymore, right? They might not enjoy what they're doing. Great time to post about the solution that you have to offer. So what I do is I use my blog post as a source of information so that people can actually read about the opportunity before they ask me a question. And I just find that then people end up going and clicking on the About Me section and reading who I am and looking at my recipes, and then they decide whether or not that they're going to connect with me on a personal level. I share it to Facebook, I share it to Instagram, I pin all of my images to Pinterest. You can even pin your YouTube videos to Pinterest. So what happens? You do this month after month after month, there becomes a little sprinkling of you out there in social media, right? So it becomes a way to just get your information out there, and it might come across the right people who are searching for you. I use Wufoo. I'm sure many of you have heard of that, but it's a form builder. You can use a free form. I think you get up to 3 for free. And I love using Wufoo, and I embed this in my blog post, or I'll put it in my Facebook post, because I like that I can gain information from people before we have a conversation. So I sort of know who they are, what their interests are. I can do they fit my niche? Do they fit who I want to work with ahead of time? And then it helps you with that response of knowing exactly what questions that those people have, so you can answer specifically to that. It just really does make the process go a little faster. And then bullet point number 4 is really important. I want you to circle it a couple of times on your sheet, because I see so many leaders who post about their business opportunity, and then it's fitness, nutrition, family, fitness, nutrition, family, never see another post again about the business. And then they say to me, but it didn't work. I can't get people to join my team. It's because you have to talk about it. And this is the key point. For like 1 to 2 weeks, 7 to 10 days, every single day I begin to drip these little jabs every single day on my social media to get people to see that I really do know what I'm talking about when I'm advertising for these busy women build a business. And it might be that I share, here's some just examples, slides, but I might share like a picture of my power hour. What does my power hour look like, right? I might even upload a little YouTube video of how I plan out my day. How do I get my workout in and how do I meal plan with my kids at home? I might talk about my morning workouts. I might actually talk about how in my mind I tell myself, yes, I'm so busy, I have so many things to do, but my workout is so important. It sets the tone for the day. And I'm speaking to those busy women out there that are struggling with that thing, and I'm hoping to attract them in by what I'm posting. And so you've got to get a little creative. And every single day, make one post out of the 3 to 4 that you do, have a call to action to either join a sneak peek or join your business opportunity call or your team every single day. This is key to making this a success. All right, so now we've got it launched, it's out there. How do we start to get people in? This is important. Before you leave here tomorrow on your plane on the way home, I would like you to set a date for your next business opportunity call. Now, I did my first call when I was a 2-star diamond. There were no pre-formatted slides. I just did not want my prospective customers or coaches to listen to my uplines call. I wanted to be the leader. I wanted people to see me as the person who had knowledge. Of course she said it better than I did. She'd been in the business longer. But I needed to learn, and I was never going to be that strong leader if I didn't take the reins and do it. So, as nervous as I was, and now you can go right into the Coach Online office, you can download the business opportunity slides, and then you can customize them and make them your own, or you can create your own. It's up to you. You can do what you want. But what you want to do is you want to set a date. You want to get your slides together. You want to advertise for it. You can even recycle that blog post, right? You've already created the image. You've got the link. Invite all your current challengers. Invite all the people on Facebook to join. And just take that leap of faith and do it. My first one that I ran, I had one person on the call, and they were a coach. I did it anyways. I could have very easily said, oh well, let's just reschedule. We'll do it again next month. But I thought to myself, no, I'm going to record this. This will be practice, and then it can be a sharing tool. So anytime somebody asks me about the business, I can give them that recording. Or maybe you did have somebody that wanted to listen to that call, but they got hung up at work and they couldn't listen to it, and then they ask you the next day, hey, can I have that recording? And you're like, oh, I canceled it. Nobody showed up. Right? So do it anyways. And then the next month, do it again. The next month I had 3 people show up. 2 were coaches, 1 wasn't. Recorded it again. And month after month after month, I got better and more people showed up. I had more sharing tools. I had more sprinklings of myself out there on YouTube for people to find me that created credibility. So I really highly encourage you guys to take that leap of faith and make that call. Even if you have to record it ahead of time and then just play it live, that's fine too. But just please, please do it. It will really change your business. All right, so confidence. As a new coach, as a 2-star, as a new leader, confidence is one of those things that we're always working on. We're always trying to prove ourselves. And I want you to put yourself in a position of being a leader, a strong leader, ever before you feel inside that you are qualified to be a leader. Use strong wording. I have, training from a top team in the organization. I'm going to give you the recipe for success. I'm going to teach you everything that I know so that you don't have to go out and reinvent the wheel. So you want to use wording that says to your audience that you have a system to plug them into to help them succeed. And it's just changing your wording that is going to make people say, I want to join her team. She knows what she's talking about. In the back of your mind, you'd be going, I have no idea what I'm doing. But just go for it, right? You just have to kind of leap and figure out the process on the way down. That's exactly what I did. And it worked. It really did work. And yes, we make mistakes, and yes, we fail, but the right people, no matter what you say to the right people, they're going to succeed. And I don't know where I heard that from, but you could say the wrong things, right, to the right people, and they'll be great, but you could say the right things to the wrong person, and they'll be gone, right? So keep that in your mind. You are good enough, and you can absolutely recruit amazing people to your organization. The other thing, too, is post eye-catching images at high traffic times. So don't kind of bow out and say, well, I'll just post this at 2 in the afternoon, and we'll just see how it goes. When in the back of your mind, you know that that's not a high traffic time. You post when everybody's on, you see that chat number go way up, and that's when you're going to post about the business. Or you have somebody that's interested, but they're afraid, and they have that fear of failure. That's when you're going to post that image about taking that leap of faith and not being afraid, and you'll never know if you don't try. Join my team. I will teach you how. I bet you that person messages you back and said, I swear you were speaking to me. That happens to me a lot, right? So you're kind of channeling those people in. So, I think I've got your wheels turning, right? You guys thinking about all this and where we're going to go from here? So, the next thing that we need to do, because we're all going to go out of here, we're going to take action, but we need to make sure that we're actually succeeding, that this system is working for you. And tracking, just like we use the bat to track our business, we need to track our recruiting. And so the way that I have always tracked my business is by the way of my Success Club base. And I'm sure you're beginning to become more familiar with this. But here's what I do. And I did this 3 years ago when I really started diving in, is I will make a list. You can do this now. Take a list of your January, take a list of your business right now. Who are all the coaches that are actively working your business, their business? And then right on there, a number at the top. How many of those coaches do you think that you can get to Success Club? Right? So that's your first number. Then the second thing I do is I say, I'm going to recruit X amount of coaches this month. And I'll write that number at the top of a piece of paper. And that's my goal. So at the end of January, I'm going to total up the number of coaches that are in Success Club. I'm going to circle that at the bottom. And then next month, I'm going to go and I'm going to make another list. And it's going to include my new coaches that I just recruited. And I'm going to aim to increase that number by 1 or 2 every single month. I'm going to try to increase the number of coaches in Success Club and even get a little better at recruiting. And it's not about recruiting a warm body. It's not about that discount coach. Those people, they don't go into this bucket. Because in order to be an elite or a premier coach, in order to grow a substantial income, move up that leadership ladder, you have to be recruiting coaches that have the same passion, the same vision that you do. And in order to be able to take a step back and say, did what I did last month work? You have to have a system for being able to track that with numbers, right? So do this. Set a goal for yourself every month to increase the number of coaches in Success Club. And what will happen is you're going to have this drop off. I always say that the life cycle of a coach can be 3 to 6 months. So they either sign up, they have a great run, they have a great warm market, and they may not do the 3 vitals and they run out. And so they might hit Success Club for 3 months, and then no matter what you do, you can't save them. And then there's some that have a slower start, and it takes them a while. So this is why I always fill my pipeline. So even if you recruit 5 working coaches, do not stop growing your business. You have to every month continue 5 more, 5 more, 3 more, whatever that number is going to be for you. Because that's how you make your Success Club base grow. That's how your organization starts to duplicate itself and get larger, is by you focusing on recruiting to succeed versus recruiting for a warm body. So, as I finish this out, I want you to just sit back and say, what little pieces can I take back and start implementing immediately? And remember, this didn't work like that. It took me 1, 2, 3 months to really execute and fine-tune, and I treat this like a science experiment, right? So if month 1 it doesn't work, don't chuck it to the wind. Just take a step back and say, what tiny little tweak can I make? Maybe it was my wording, maybe it was the time of day, and then you try again. And then the next month, you try again. And you try until you find your secret sauce that works for you. And if you do that, you will recruit to succeed and you'll get success in your business. So thanks guys. I hope you guys have a great time.